Hello, guys. Okay, this is episode 4. The topic is the police department, and I have two guests with me. So, Andrew, Nicole, introduce yourselves.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nicole.
Hi everyone, how you doing? My name is Andrew. You know the vibes.
Okay, so the topic today is the police department. So, which one of you guys want to tackle it first?
Nicole, you want to start first?
Yeah, we were already briefly talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, just like really quickly. But if we're gonna just talk about the police department, like I was saying, me personally, I don't think every cop is bad. Like, I don't think that all cops are bad. I think the system in itself is corrupt. I feel like once you choose to be a cop, like, you have to honor that badge. If something goes down while you're out on whatever, what do they call it? Like their rounds or the routines or whatever it's called, something happens, you have to back your partner up at the end of the day. Like, in that moment, you're just a cop. It's not, I'm a black cop, I'm a white cop, you're a cop. So I feel like it comes, like, that badge comes with all of that. And it sucks that that's a system that we have. But I think that's why it was so easy with the George Floyd situation. I think that's why it was so easy for those other cops to look away, because whether they felt in their souls whether they felt like they had like some type of guilt or remorse about it, like, we'll never know. But what we do know is what we saw. They were able to look away because they know they're going to get away with that shit. And that's my issue with it. Obviously, I know we need cops. Like, this world would be fucked up if we didn't have any cops. But there has to be a better system put in place. And until that changes, I don't see anything changing. And that's why people hate cops. So that's just my stance on, like, the police department as a whole.
Andrew?
Yes, sir. Okay. For me, the cops, I mean, they got their pros and their cons, but after seeing everything, it's just all cons. I totally agree with Nicole says. There are some cops that are good, and you also got cops that are bad. The cops that are bad should not be in the police force, should never work in the police force, should never even own a firearm or any of that nature. I honestly do believe, like, if you do decide to go into the police force or law enforcement or anything, you need to have a psychiatric evaluation just to see that you're not a racist, a bigot, or anything of that nature. Go back, like, do background checks, like universal background checks to your history, to your family history, like, just see, like, the different things that's been out throughout the history of your family that can come out and try to harm other people that, not that at all. When I went to the first wave of protests, like, I went to the first one in Manhattan. It was very peaceful, very, very peaceful. And the next thing you know, the police just start wanting to bug the hell out because people are linked up and just want to walk down the street and be peacefully protesting. And they want to get upset that we're marching, protesting in togetherness, in solidarity. So, my thing with the police, we honestly do need to have people of color in those positions, honestly. We do need to try to get people, the biggest, the racist, the racism people, get them out of those positions. Because today, the Louisville mayor fired the chief of police today.
Yeah.
So, just stuff like that. It's just little changes like that progressively can lead to a reform, So...
No, yeah, I get it.
Well,
I feel like with what'd you say?
No, go ahead, Nicole.
Yeah, and I feel like with the protest, a lot of the things that I've been seeing, like, I only went to the one, like, that they were having in around Garden City area that wasn't, like, crazy or anything like that. But from what I've been seeing is that the police are the ones who are starting to get aggressive. It's
exactly.
It's like you want us to quote unquote, they say to us, oh yeah, you can protest. It's part of your constitutional rights. You can protest, blah, blah, blah. But when we're doing that, it's an issue. It's like you antagonize us until we get upset. Then that's when the rioting starts.
Exactly. I think that's just all their plan because the one in Manhattan, like they were smart about it. They separated like the whole big group. We all met at the fountain and everything in front of the courthouse. We started walking. Next thing you know, people started moving up faster, and then they started blocking it off. And then and then people just got left. Then a group of people got left back, and then that's when it just kind of got a little chaotic, But the police know what they're doing, and we all
know.
Yeah, exactly. We see it. It's there. It's all there. The proof is in the pudding. We see them laying out the bricks on the road. We see them, just using aggressive force that is not needed. Even in Atlanta, I was so happy when they said that the 6 people that was there that tased and dragged those 2 college students off their car. I was so glad to hear that.
I saw that they charged. I think they charged those 6 officers.
Yep, and they got until Friday to turn themselves in.
Oh my God!
Is there a reason?
That one apparently had epilepsy, right?
Is there a reason that they did that? Because I seen the video when they just knocking. We're talking about the video where the guy was knocking on the passenger side of the door, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
they were doing it. They were going home.
Literally going home, and you can see the car in front of them. The car in front of them was a white woman, and she was literally waving waving to the cops, waving in the camera like it was just a fucking day at the circus.
Because that's what I'm trying to, I'm black, obviously. And I'm trying to tell, I'm trying to tell people this and whatnot, I tell them all the time, I'm like, it's a race. The reason why I say it's a race thing, because let's face it, every time a police brutality is happening or a cop is killing a black person, it's always someone racist. It's never it's never just a white man who has black friends who's loving black people, who don't see color. It's always someone racist. It's never maybe I haven't seen it yet, but have you guys seen just a normal white guy taking a black person's life?
God, no.
See, so that
wouldn't even be an issue for them because they feel like this is racist.
Yeah, so that's why I try to tell, because I had my followers, this morning I had posted a video, and I'm like, you guys cannot run fucking cops over. And I was trying to tell this man, I'm like, listen, we was just mad as hell when the cop car ran through the crowd. And I hate to say it, there was no black person in sight, but that's not the point.
There really was not.
Yeah, that's not the point, bro. That's what I analyzed the shit out that video. But then I'm like, how can you guys be mad that the cops ran over the people in the protest, and then you guys are just running over cops? If you guys watch my story, when I tell you this black van had no mercy, he just ransacked through the cops. I'm like, what the fuck?
That happened in the Bronx yesterday?
But the person who was recording, I was thinking that it happened around in Brooklyn, Chinatown. They're sitting in Chinatown because they were speaking Japanese. They were speaking Chinese, but it's because they tackled a man, and I'm assuming it was a white man or a black man. Don't quote me on it because I don't really see the color of the person. But yeah, give me a second. You guys talk.
Yeah. No, but I hear both sides. We were talking earlier, and I grew up in a predominantly white area. I'm sure you can hear by my voice. So obviously, I know that not all white people are bad. But from scrolling through my Facebook, a lot of them that I went to school, you guys are showing your whole racist ass right now. You guys are showing it, okay? People that I thought, people that used to fiend to say the N-word in high school, just to be down, you guys are showing your true colors. I had one, I was telling him before, I had one girl message me, she DM'd me because I made a comment on her post. She was like, oh, I'm so disgusted by the looters, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just saying, yeah, you guys are mad about property. A whole life was taken. I'm not saying that everybody should go out there and destroy everything, but you guys are missing the point.
Exactly. We're everyone is... And on top of that, you also got to think about, the whole, before even George Floyd and everything, like the names and everything.
Right,
all
it's built up.
It's still added fuel to the fire, and then on top of that, this pandemic didn't even make it better. People
yes, people been locked up for months.
People lost their jobs. People are like bugging out. People don't know what they're doing. It's like people have lost a grip on reality after this, you know. So
right.
So like they're angry. Everyone's just angry and furious and irate, and they just want to get that anger out. But the peaceful protesters, and we know who everyone that peaceful is, but the people that's inside that keeps antagonizing, that keeps the looting, that keeps the vandalism, that keeps setting cars on fire.
I know. I saw a video of cops with the bricks. Is that what you're about to say?
That and I saw a video in Paris. They just posted a video in Paris. Someone's got scooters on fire. They're starting to do in Paris now.
Oh my goodness!
I'm back, beautiful people.
Now they had a big gathering in Switzerland. You know, it's crazy, and I'm glad to see that the world is all in it.
Yes, I know. It's not just us.
Exactly. You know,
we always look crazy to the rest of the world. I don't know if you guys know, but
exactly.
These Americans, look at them. They're acting up
all
again,
the time.
but now.
All the time, but now they say damn, these Americans are right. Y'all thought we was bugging. No, we go through this on a day-to-day basis, and it's not, and it needs to stop.
It's so sad. Since it happened, you can't even scroll through your social media without crying. And it's just so sad to me. I can't.
Exactly. I broke down the other day because I'm just so mixed with. I was mixed with so many emotions. This is crazy. I should not have to be scared to walk down the street. I should not be scared or tense up when a police car drives by. I shouldn't be nervous when a police car, walks up. I shouldn't be that when a police officer walks by me. I should be able to be hey, how you doing, sir, and keep it pushing.
Because I feel like there's gonna be, I don't know if you guys feel it. I really feel like it's gonna be a change because I was telling, I was telling somebody, I think one of my it was one of my white friends. I was talking to them yesterday, and I told them, when you watch the Eric Garner video, it's how you guys could hear him say, "I can't breathe," but we didn't watch, they was all surrounding him, so we couldn't really see, him die. But but with George Floyd, we saw it. We saw it. There was no police officers, trying to cover him. We literally seen it. And in the I was corrected by one of my followers. They were like, "No, Rocher, I listened to your podcast, but if you look closely at the video, those weren't EMTs. Those were police officers because they had guns. Yeah, they had guns and they had badges on them and whatnot."
No, let's talk about the fact that they picked his body up and they didn't check for no pulse, no nothing.
That's what the guy was telling me. That's exactly what my followers was mentioning.
In the video, you just see one man put his hand on his neck and just put.
There was no urgency at all.
Yeah, because that's what they were telling me. They were saying EMT protocol. They're supposed to check for a pulse. Yeah, that's what they were telling me. Yeah, that's exactly what they were telling me. They were telling me, they were supposed to check for his pulse, and they were supposed to do this and that. And I was like, I didn't even know. Well, one, I'm really a sensitive person, if you guys know it, so I couldn't watch the video with sound. So it's I didn't even watch the whole video. I would have to tell you guys, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, I sat down and I watched the whole video. And then, I don't know if you guys see me post it. It was this one white girl. She was doing martial arts with this man. So the man's she said he's 6'2", she's 5 something, and he's 220 pounds, and she's 112 pounds, and he put. Yeah, she said. Yeah, she
posted that.
Yeah, she goes and say, he put his knee on my neck. It was very painful, but he could breathe, and he had drugs in his system. So, my ghetto, ratchet, black, motherfucking African-American ass had to let her know. I said, how about you let him knee on your neck for 9 minutes straight, and then when you pass out, he continues to knee on your neck, and then when your spirit comes back, I'm going to ask your spirit, did it hurt? So since you're 6 feet under now, are you dead? Are you dead? And then you talk about there was drugs in his system. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Only white people would want negative press. Why the fuck would you post some fuckery like that?
want a story, Rocher, bro. They always want a story. Like, if you think about it, with every black man and woman that has been killed by the police or just killed by a racist, they always, in the news, they always portray the victim as the aggressor or portray him as, like, they're charging at me. Oh, they was on drugs. They did this and they did that. To make it seem like they antagonize the whole thing to their death. No. That's why we all record if something goes down to show the world this is what goes on in the United States of America.
And then
all this stuff on the news is like BS. Do not believe it. I am showing you the proof right here. And I think for me, like the video, like I think what broke me down was when he was calling for his mom.
Oh, I know, but that's when his mom died that same day 2 years ago.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
he told you.
Wow.
You see, I didn't watch the video with sound because I couldn't, like, you know, I couldn't. And I tell people this too. You know how many times we've seen videos of racist cops like doing this, doing that to people, and there was no protest. And I'm like, bro, like you guys took it overboard. 2 on his back, 1 knee on his neck. I'm like, bro, and you was on there, and the people was tapping you. Yeah, and the people was tapping you. The people was tapping you to get off of him. You didn't even want to get off of him.
He didn't even look. That's like a look of like, it's a power play. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel you have all this power right now to kill this man just because he's black. That's what that was. He was so like enraged with racism. The look on his face was just like, whatever.
Yeah, and you see his mugshot, right? You see.
That's not good.
You see when people commit crimes, because I always have sympathy. Like, don't judge me, guys. Don't curse me out. But every time someone commits a crime, like whatever crime they commit, when I look at their mugshot, I'll be like, yo, he crying. He must really regret what he did. That man mugshot was giving, I did it.
Bro,
I'll gladly do it again.
So if we're going to talk back, like, people are saying that that's not even him in that mugshot. Look at that hairline. How did you get a different hairline in the matter of a day?
Because that man's like, yo, I ain't trying to get my ass killed in jail. They gonna kill his ass in jail now.
Bro, I feel like, I don't know, I'm like one of those crazy people who are like, oh, this is a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy. Like, I just want to know, like, all these people that were protesting outside of his house, right? How did he manage to escape and go to his home in Florida? When they couldn't even let the Uber Eats guy in there because the people were protesting. Like, every time he would try to order food, like, the people would send it back so he couldn't eat. So I want to know how he was able to get his house in Florida. Like, somebody helped him. I'm telling you, like, come on.
Yeah, because his
it has to be someone, and it has to be someone in the force. It has to be. Ain't no way in hell.
Yeah, like
exactly.
Like I said, it's probably racist.
This?
It's probably one of his racist cop friends and whatnot. And that Asian person, you know, did it worse because it's like at the end of the day, like, how could you be human and you let that happen? Even if that wasn't a cop, let's say it's somebody's fighting and the person, let's say you fighting Nicole and the person brother breaks up the fight. Who the fuck would want to just stand there and watch a person do that to you? Like, come on, cop or not, who would have the heart to see that? And then when you die, what am I supposed to tell your parents? Oh, I stood there, I came to fight with Nicole, but now I'm leaving with Nicole's dead body.
Right. I don't know. Even that Asian cop, like, I feel like, I want to say, like, it's going to sound racist, but like, I feel like other minorities, like, you should have some type of compassion. But I noticed that, like, with Asians and, like, I want to say, like, Dominicans, like, they're so stuck in the fact that they don't want to be considered a minority, be considered, like us, like black people, that they try so hard to portray themselves as white that they're willing to look away at injustices. That's what I think. Like, they're willing to just be like, okay, well,